Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network. This just in. Hold, please. Marjorie Taylor Greene has filed a motion to vacate Speaker Mike Johnson.
Oh, boy. And all it takes is one.
His party. Oh, my God.
Did God say it was time for him to lose his job?
Oh, my God. I don't even know what they're doing. Majority of House Republicans endorse abortion ban that threatens IVF. House Republican budget calls for raising retirement age for Social Security.
Oh.
They are just the party of wildly unpopular
They're the party
ideas.
of touching the third rail.
Yes.
That's all they've been doing lately.
Yes. I don't even, oh my God, the Medicare thing, isn't that the voucher hospital that Paul Ryan used to be for? I mean, they are just the party of bad, it's literally, they're a bad idea factory, as I've said, Frangela.
Yet people keep voting them in.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to do about that personally, because if you can't see the idiocy, if you can't see the crime, if you won't acknowledge people stepping on your rights, I don't know what to do for you.
Yeah.
They're not voting for their policies. They're voting for white nationalism.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. By the way, I'm just reading a Trump tweet because I can't get enough of his panic right now about the New York judgment. He said, the judge picked a number out of thin air, plus interest, reminiscent of John Lovitz, the liar on SNL when it was good.
Oh, God.
No, you're the liar. You're the biggest liar. Not John Lovitz. That didn't even make sense. Okay. And then this witch hunt between a bad judge and a corrupt and racist attorney general is horrible for New York. Businesses are fleeing while violent crime flourishes. Election interference. Oh, I'm going to enjoy every
Racist against
minute.
white people? Is that what he's trying to say?
Yes. And I think it's just fantastically lovely that the RNC has, of course, switched course. And they're going to use all their money to pay for this crook's legal bills. They're sucking the party dry. It's fantastic.
It's fantastic. And, I couldn't ask for a better outcome, because the reality is that every other politician that was supposed to get some money, you ain't getting nothing. And why? Because you're all supporting this one person and their problems. And you know what?
You propped up and defended this crook for years. This is exactly what you get, right?
Exactly.
Never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake.
That's right.
Let them do it.
Yep.
Chuck in Austin said, boy, that would be a great place to... God, if sexy liberal tickets keep selling like this, who knows where we could add cities? Who knows? But he says, Steph, you were talking about Ann Richards, brought back a memory, January 2001. We couldn't stand to watch the inauguration, so we took our 1.5-year-old daughter to Town Lake in Austin to feed the ducks. My young daughter's on the edge of the lake. I'm hovering over her so she doesn't fall in. We hear this distinctive twang. That little girl has the cutest curly hair I've ever seen. I turn around and see Ann Richards out for a nice walk on a beautiful day. I said, thank you so much, Governor. I sure wish we were getting you were getting sworn in today. That got a full-throated laugh. She thanked me. We chatted for a bit. Then she was on her way. It was a true brush with greatness. And Chris and I both got a chance to meet her. And it just, you really, I mean, talk about not only do we feel like we're missing greatness in our politicians, but Donald Trump is just whatever is the 180 degrees opposite of that, right?
Absolutely. He's a white nationalist, domestic terrorist.
Yeah.
I mean, he's absolutely the opposite of that.
Yeah.
It's a brush with the bottom if you meet him.
Yeah.
I don't understand how Republicans can sit here and say it's okay for a man who's running for president to sit there and go, if I'm not elected, it's going to be a bloodbath. If they come and take my stuff, I want you to come out here and protest. This is a man who is already leading and calling for violence on his behalf.
I mean, these new details that came out this week about, on January 6th, I mean, he's just a sociopath, that they came and told him a civilian's been shot and killed. And he's like, he went back to watching the coverage. I don't know why Republicans, some of them seem to be claiming they thought some of this stuff exonerated him. I'm like, no, it didn't.
No.
First of all, the valet, I think, is the one that, and he wasn't around Trump, constantly. But I don't know what he said, something that to me just corroborated all the stuff we've heard about January 6th, you know?
Yeah, that's because you're not crazy.
Oh, okay.
That's the problem.
That's it, yeah.
You
Well,
have to be crazy to understand that.
yeah. Oh, he said, what was it? Oh, that Pence was making a political mistake or political suicide by not, you know. I didn't hear anything that didn't corroborate what we already know about the awfulness of January 6th and his behavior on that day. But, all right, Tim.
Because there's nothing to do that.
Yeah. Tim in Canada. Hello, Tim, in New Brunswick.
Hi, Stephanie. Long-time listener. Honestly, you are a hero.
Oh.
Now,
Thank you.
I wanted to say, I did want to say something real quick. I'm a licensed therapist in the state of Maine and in the state of Oklahoma. And something that has caught me about what the judges have done and what Trump does, right, is three words. One is projection, one is subjective, and the other one is objective. And so when we talk about objective, we're talking about facts. We're talking about things that are actually factual that can be proven with things like that. When we're talking about subjective, we're talking about things that are based on feelings, beliefs, and perceptions. And with those two things, the things that has done and McAfee has done is they're using subjective reasoning, and that's not what we're supposed to be doing when it comes to the court of law. We're supposed to be using objective reasoning.
Right.
Next thing is projection. Every fucking time.
Oh,
Sorry.
wow,
I don't know.
wait, what's that all about, Canada? I mean, Canada. Oh, Canada. Do you know what I'm saying, Frangela? You didn't see that. You never see that coming from a Canadian.
No.
But that's how much we have destroyed this world.
But Canadians dropping F-bombs on my show.
Yeah.
Canadians don't do
Ruined
that.
Canadians.
Steve in Missouri, you're on with Frangela.
You're usually too drunk.
Chris,
Hello,
Louise. Hi, Steve.
What I have to say will tickle your cockles.
Oh.
Candace Owens walked out on her job from the Daily Wire.
I think she was let go.
Within the hour.
I think she was let go.
Well, Shapiro doesn't have the, I don't know, he's not in charge of hiring and firing,
Okay.
but what he did tell her is you're welcome to leave. That's what he said, and she left. And what's funny about it is
Everything?
that the Daily Wire has no problem with her theory about rabbis drinking Christian blood, but yet they had a problem with her wanting to say something about Mark Holmes, the president of France's wife, being a man. That was a bridge too far for them.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Oh, they have standards
I
there
try
at the
not
Daily
to-
Wire.
I try not to suck out the rest of my life force worrying about things Candace Owens has said. I can't really keep track. I can't really remember. What was the last awful thing?
I can't remember.
She say something, I don't know. She said stuff that's sexist and racist, hasn't she, about pilots or something? She doesn't want to see a black pilot or a woman pilot. Okay.
Yeah, but this is the thing. I don't expect her to have any understanding of anything because they don't let her even churn the butter. You know what I mean? Like Candace, they tell her to count the ice.
In a totally unrelated story, do you think he's going to pick Ben Carson or Tim Scott as his vice presidential pick, which are two of the names
I don't
being
think he'll know
floated?
which one it is.
See, it won't matter.
It won't matter. He will bring me one of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
They won't be able to tell.
Okay. Wow.
The biscuits are comparable. To be fair, they are very similar. They have similar techniques. It's in the whisking.
I'm telling you, Monday, y'all pop that popcorn, get that champagne ready, because it's going to be on.
What's America's early warning system, Chris?
Black ladies.
Just saying. Black lady's the one getting it done. I mean, Leticia James, seriously, people have been saying, like, this is the first time he's seen any real consequence in his entire pathetic life.
And it's $500 million worth. But you know what? But here's the thing. What everybody doesn't recognize is that he's a billionaire. He's going to come up with that money. It's going to be magical at the last second.
He just trothed whatever he does that he has $500 million in cash, which is like the judge will be like, okay, thank you very much.
Give it to me.
Take it like Cindy Lou Who's candy cane. Just whoop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Talk MFer.
I mean, what I like to do is I don't use checks that much anymore like most of us. So I've been using my checkbook as my new hobby is I write checks to him and tear them up. It just gives me joy. Just do it all day long. I'm like, Donald Trump's defense fund.
You gotta. I was saying we need to, with all the stress we've been through, we have to enjoy every layer of this humiliation. And I gotta say that it's a black lady because you know that it's driving him insane. Because I was saying about the fundraising email. What is it, Chris? The one the desperate. Yep. First of all, that he's engaged in this lifetime of fraud, and now he's asking other people to pay off his fraud debt. Yep. But, it said, keep the, your filthy hands off Trump Tower. To talk about Leticia James in the next sentence, I'm like, oh my God, it reminded me of that old Jesse Helms racist ad. Remember, you needed that job, and you see a black hand coming in, taking it. Do you remember that?
Yes.
No, I don't.
I don't remember it, but we probably blocked it because of the trauma.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, they're literally now trying to spin this like, I think there was a Maggie Haberman story this morning that, some of them are saying, oh, this will be politically helpful to him if Leticia James, because the black lady taking his stuff is going to. And I'm like, can you inflame his stupid racist base anymore? Who cares, right?
Right. You know what? Here's the thing. By making sure that the law applies to Donald Trump, are you telling me when they take that money, he's going to get 564 more million voters? No.
Yeah.
No. They can be as outraged as they want to be. And New York is ready. They're like, come on in if you're gonna protest. We got you.
Yeah.
I think he's killed his own protests because the reality is everybody saw what happened to them on January 6th.
That's right.
And if you're a Trump fan, you may want to write a check. You may want to scream and yell on TikTokies or whatever, but what you're not going to do is put yourself in a situation where you're in prison.
Yeah.
That's right. And I'm going to tell you this, too. Let somebody from North Carolina come up in New York City and think they're going to beat on a New York City cop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see how that go now.
Yeah. And I love, we were saying that, Fani Willis is going full speed ahead in Georgia, and I'm like, good, because now you made her mad.
That's right. Taste it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now it's personal.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, because even this stupid review is not stopping the case from going forward. And it's just, I was quoting another expert from, I think it was CNN or something, said the same thing I've been saying. This should never have happened in the first place, this ridiculous televised trial of her personal life, Let's get to the actual criminals now, right?
Absolutely.
But that is this country is no. We don't need to stop and deal with the crime over here. Let's go harass these black people first.
Yeah.
Because we're good at it.
And by the way, this whole, everybody's screaming about the document thing in New York. Alvin Bragg is like, let's go, and we were saying Norm Eisen thinks this is going to go in April. It's like less than 300 documents, this whole thing, this latest delay tactic he's trying in the election interference hush money case, right?
Yeah.
They need to stop. This is the thing. We have to keep up our pressure on the people who are supposed to be doing the justice.
Yeah.
Because they have to know that what we are interested in is not what's going on in anybody's panties. What we're interested in is justice.
Yeah.
Because if you do not, they need to be worried about the majority of us who voted for Biden. That's who they need to be worried about.
Yeah.
Stop worrying about these fools.
Speaking of justice, Merrick Garland pushed back yesterday from White House officials and others who argued he should not have let Special Counsel Robert Hur use the language claiming President Biden suffers from memory loss in his report on the president's handling of classified documents. He said the idea that an attorney general would edit or redact or censor the special counsel's explanation for why the special counsel reached the decision that special counsel did, that's absurd. I disagree. So does Glenn Kirshner.
I disagree completely. Because what the special counsel he wasn't commenting on criminality.
Didn't we learn anything from James Comey? It's either you're guilty or not, and then you shut them up. You don't.
Yeah, that was not his job, and I think it's no different than if he had put his to-do list in the middle of that report. Like, oh, and by the way, today I have to go get some Diet Coke. I got to get some flour. It's not germane. That's not editing. That's not redacting. That's called editing, like you would for grammar.
Here's my opinion. This is what I mean. This even this stupid Judge McAfee thing and the Fawny Willis thing. There's either a conflict or there's not. Let's go forward again with the the trial against the criminals. I don't care what you think there's an appearance of, or what your opinion is, or what your speculation is. Shut them up, right?
Thank you. That's exactly what we said on the final word this week. We're just like, there's no difference between her report and what Judge McCaffrey did the other day. There's no crime here. There's nothing improper here, but I kind of feel like you might be lying and you should appeal this because what judge makes a ruling that he says, please appeal it? Like what, how does that happen?
Yeah, insane. Well, you know what? There's one thing to do, and that is save the world. I'm just saying, Frangela, the excitement it's spinning off into the universe. We were saying that I love that also there's another lady person that is the monitor, Chris?
Yep.
So, because the judge is on the lookout. You can tell for last minute which is a legal term that Donald Trump might try to pull, including getting this from a foreign power. Because I kept asking, is there going to be because the American people have a right to know that, right? If he gets this money last minute from, let's say, I don't know, I'm going to go out on a limb and say Putin. So, but anyway, there's this monitor, and Chris and I have a betting pool as to how many times he's called her the C word already. But the judge says they have to report anything they're doing to try to secure this bond, be it this weekend or whatever, right?
I love it. It's delicious. It tastes so good. I mean, I never thought that something would taste good in my ears. I didn't know I had taste buds in my ears.
Well, Donald Trump's going to be at one of those cash exchanges with rubles going, can you get rubles into dollars for me? How do I?
Right. But you know what? And this is my thing about this whole situation. When I think about how much debt so many Americans are in, from payday loans, from trying to get, a $500 issue that comes up in their life, less known, $500 million. Yeah. Welcome to the world. Welcome to America.
This is the party
Welcome to have to pay your bills.
This is the party that doesn't want student debt forgiven for anybody.
That's right.
And we were saying, Tom Hartman mentioned about how many people's assets Steve Mnuchin seized and threw them out of their houses, whatever. But somehow when it comes to Trump, poor him. Like you said, right. This is what they do to anybody. They seize your assets or garnish your pay or do whatever. I mean, it's
for far smaller crimes. Smaller crimes.
Go, Angela. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. That's exactly what's happening.
If you don't pay your taxes, the government will come in and put a lien against your finances. Right. They will put a lien against your paycheck. They will put a lien on any of your assets, and those are not billionaires.
Yeah, and I do love that it's sisters getting it done, that it's women, because someone was saying we've been our savior was going to be Mueller and then Merrick Garland, and you know what? The only people that have gotten consequences so far, Roberta Kaplan and Tish James, right? I mean, it's. And by the way, I just had to save this for you. We played I just found some great Ann Richards, video. And I just thought, oh my God, speaking of awesome women, and that just framed, because we know how important women are going to be in this election. And I can't even imagine what she would be thinking now about Roe being overturned and some of these laws. But take a listen.
I think a woman has a right, and every woman has a right, and no government should interfere whatsoever in a woman's decision about whether or not to have children. I mean, no, wait, don't jump all over that guy. Let me tell you, I have seen more children in a world of hurt as a consequence of their birth to people who did not want them and could not care for them than I have from people who've had abortions. And I want to respect anybody who has a moral disagreement with that. But you disagree in your own life. Don't tell the government to legislate what my daughters or my granddaughters or other women must do.
I mean, right? Just the way she framed issues is just common sense. And that was small government she's talking about. That's what the Republican Party used to be for, right?
And that's how you disagree. That's how you have see, this is the problem. The Republicans now don't even have a platform. They don't have, what they have is whatever Donald Trump trips out of his mouth.
Yeah.
They don't, so this is when they had ideas.
Yeah.